Ladies. So, menopausal skin. I get more questions about asking for help with skin as it goes through menopause or perimenopause. I'm going to just talk about some of the symptoms that most of us do see when we get a little bit older, and my thoughts on the best way to manage them. So the first thing to say is that I know it's really easy to feel really fed up with your skin when it's super dry, when it's dull, or sometimes all of these things, and with the addition of breakouts as well. Our skin does change quite significantly as we get older, and hey, I know that's not rocket science, is it? But I think it's really easy to be negative about all of these symptoms. We are so harsh to ourselves, and that little voice inside of our head just, if only I had younger looking skin, less lines. My skin was more like so and so. And the thing is, I mean, our skin works really hard behind the scenes. So all of these things that it does invisibly. So acting as a line of defense against bacterial pollutants. It acts as a barrier to the world. As I say, it actually repairs your skin through the night, and the list goes on. And none of us can change what's happening. I mean, the as you hit perimenopause, you hit menopause. There's no magic button to stop these symptoms taking hold. So menopause is defined officially as, I think, 1 year after your last period, but for most of us, those preceding years is when we see these symptoms first appear. So all of the changes we see in our skin during menopause or perimenopause are down to hormonal changes, a direct result of reduced estrogen in our bodies, and you know what that means. So skin thins, it becomes looser. You sort of get that kind of, you catch yourself in a rather unfortunate angle in the mirror, and you kind of see that kind of double chin thing going on. Sunspots, pigmentation can be a problem, even if you're diligent with your sun cream. And the thing that I suffer with the most is this really intensely dry skin. So my most complained about symptoms and my thoughts on how to manage it. So dry menopausal skin. So if your skin's already dry in the first place, and then coupled with slower cell turnover, that just means really lackluster dull skin, which usually means lots of dead skin cells on the surface. So my recommendations on managing dull skin are really about hydration and moisture. Add in some exfoliation. I do recommend a balm-based cleanser for your face. It's luxurious. It gets moisture in, and for dullness, it's super helpful. It's a solid style cleanser. It's I don't have it in front of me, and it's made with plant oils, and for me, it's the most moisturizing type of cleanser, and what I recommend for most of my ladies. I like a muslin cloth, and if you think that that a balm cleanser is not for you because you're prone to breakouts, don't assume that. It really does depend on the mix of oils and the mix of butters in the balm. So I really like lavender, carrot seed, and rosemary essential oils, all of which support skin that's prone to breakouts. And I suggest then following up with some serious hydrating power, something like a face oil. And there's no right or wrong here. You're going to have to play around and find out what feels best for your skin. For your body, it's important to exfoliate gently on a regular basis. I'm a fan of my honey and rose scrub, which is packed with organic sugar and silky almond oil and shea butter. And the balance is that while it gives you a kind of decent kind of exfoliating feel, it's not like one of these products where you kind of put it on, don't feel anything. It will also impart moisture and hydration to the skin, so you kind of get the best of both worlds. The only caveat with all of this is just it's about being gentle. So no scrubbing within an inch of your life. Let's talk about breakouts. So this is probably the second thing I get. Most questions are at suddenly you are a teenager again, and not in a good way. Again, the root cause here is changing hormones. Estrogen levels are falling, and these changing hormones can result in spots and breakouts. And again, my suggestion is that you should be looking at migraine. Let's try that again. You should be looking at hydration, but again, with ingredients that help control breakouts. So I've talked a little bit about my cleansing balm. My other top pick would be my facial essence with rose and marula, which is packed with oils that are slightly astringent and which help with skin that's prone to breakouts. So hazelnut oil, for example. Dry skin then is probably the bugbear of most of us as we get older, and having super dry skin doesn't also mean that you don't get breakouts as well. It's an added bonus. And for me, this is a symptom I've struggled with most. Intensely dry skin is an indication that your skin's outer barrier is struggling, and quite typical as estrogen levels fall. We tend to see the skin's epidermis thickening with less oil production. So again, moisture, hydration, definitely look for a balm type cleanser. Look at perhaps slightly richer moisturizing products over the top. And remember, you can layer your products. So I like to use after cleansing, I like to use an oil and a cream mixed together. I just combine them in my hands and apply them. And also think about the products you're using the shower to cleanse with. I strongly recommend you ditch the foaming cleansers. I know we're kind of brought up with these things, it's second nature. But for me, my own experience with super dry skin, it was one of the first things to go. You kind of get that really nice sort of bubbly, warm, soapy feeling in the shower. But for me, within minutes of getting out, I kind of had that really intense itching. So if that's you, I do recommend considering using an old-fashioned soap bar, but just one that's made with plant oils. And manufacturers are quite sneaky, so you'll see something that looks like this and it's really, really pretty, and it's got nice packaging and it's got like flowers and leaves on it, and you think that the ingredients are good. So, and then actually when you look at the small print, that's not the case. And glycerin is a byproduct of making soap the old-fashioned way, what's called cold processed soap. And glycerin is a humectant, it attracts moisture, so it's really good for skin that's super dry. But what some canny manufacturers do is that they do make nice cold pressed soap, but then they strip out the natural forming glycerin so that it can be sold on and used in products elsewhere. I don't do that. So just have a look. Just consider using something like this rather than shower gel in the shower if your skin is really prone to dryness. I think that those are probably my top recommendations. They've certainly made a difference to my skin and a lot of my ladies, and I hope that that's helpful. If you've got questions, if you've got specific symptoms that you want, ping me a message on social, ping me an email through the website, or if you want specific recommendations to help your skin, again, the same thing. And as I will be delighted to give you some recommendations.